everybody. It is IBB James here with IBB George Phillips. And we are here for the final hashtag IBB.3
Trilogy.
And we talked about, well, you can't learn anything unless you go back and watch the other videos.
That's right.
So we didn't talk about anything, did we?
Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
Not at all.
That's just nothing.
Drinking water.
Drinking water. We love Fiona's.
Absolutely.
The best.
Head
So,
out.
but yeah, George, let's dive right into number 3. We're taking the gloves off. Throw it at us. What is it?
Old school.
Oh.
Not streaking across the quad like I know you did.
Cool head.
And I got the stories to prove it. We won't go into that here.
God. Yeah, right.
We are living in a time of change. Technology, mindset, mentality.
Yeah.
Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah. But it's inevitable.
People are they're not reverting back to certain things that you should take with you when you go to changes. When was the last time you sat down? I'm not asking you.
Okay.
Or Gary's hair. That should be a Twitter handle. Gary's hair.
Gary's hair.
IBB
cool.
Gary hair.
Hashtag it. Gary's hair.
Gary's hair.
Hashtag Gary's hair.
So, when was the last time, I'm speaking to the audience, you sat down and wrote a handwritten thank you note? You got a handwritten thank you note?
I hang them up. I have yours hanging up in my office, yeah.
I have a thing in my drawer.
This very long while before they come back, yeah.
Someone sends me an email thanking me for helping them, meeting with them, doing something for them. It's nice. Mm-hmm. Don't not do that. Okay?
But you get deleted. It gets deleted.
I read it, I delete it.
Yeah.
I don't have a folder in my email called thank you notes.
Maybe we should, though.
We could, but here's the deal.
When you're having a bad day, go to your thank you folder.
You can sing, though, too.
You can.
But here's what I do.
My singing telegrams folder in my email.
I have my thank you notes that I've received over the years in my desk with a binder clip on them. And there are days, I don't care how fired up you get every day, you're going to have your moments. You're going to have your bad days.
Yeah.
You try to hide them, for lack of a better word, sometimes, but you're going to have them.
Yeah.
I've sat in my office with the door shut and pulled and just, why am I doing this? It's not working. I'm going to just go be 9 to 5 Joe, whatever.
Yep.
And I pull out my drawer, I get my thank you notes out.
That's awesome.
And I read them.
That's
and I say,
awesome.
I made a difference here, I made a difference here, I made a difference here, I made a difference here.
Yeah.
They appreciated this, they made a difference here.
Yeah.
Recharges your battery, goes from there. But in business, you graduated from Notre Dame College. And when they graduated, the NDC, home of the Falcons.
That's right.
When you graduated, that was a very, very special day.
Yeah.
You earned the right to wear the cap and gown. You've earned the right to change the tassel from one side to the other.
Yep.
You've earned the right to walk across that stage as slow or as fast as you want. You've earned the right to get that degree handed to you. You've earned the right to shake the president's hand. You've earned the right to take a picture. You've earned the right to have your family in the audience. Proud,
and yell for me even though they say don't
scream.
applause. Yeah.
You've earned the right to have a graduation party.
Yep.
But remember something. So did 35,000 other kids on the same day across the country.
What? You mean I'm not unique?
No. What
Sorry, bro.
separates you from the pack?
Yeah, those little...
And people don't get that oftentimes.
Yeah.
Just because you earned a degree, just because you've worked at a company for 10 years or 20 years, what separates you from the pack?
Awesome.
You wear IBB. I'm waiting for the tattoo because this got to be coming.
I'm a tattoo across my
neck. I'm waiting. You got one.
Yeah, I'll get it like yeah.
I'm waiting for the shoulder IBB.
Yeah.
Logo tattoo.
There you go.
But here's the thing. That I see that, I think of you.
Yeah.
That you have separated yourself from the pack in the financial services industry.
Yeah, and it's not, and that's, I think that's what we all especially like so circling back to college and school. In school, it's like you're shunned if you don't blend in. If you don't like Zach Fennell, he talks about blend out, don't blend in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
be shunned.
Yeah, he was a Notre Dame college grad, but also graduated from Brush High School. And in high school, so he's had cerebral palsy his whole life. In high school, he was ashamed, and then in college, it was kind of like he took pride in it. You know what I'm saying? Like just like the
Brand yourself. Author told me that one time.
Yeah. The difference in you is what matters.
I can't tell you how many times when in previous jobs that I've held, I've had the privilege of making a hiring decision. When you send your resume out to somebody and they call you, "Hi, James, this is Art from Vandalay Industries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling about your resume for the latex salesman. We'd like for you to come in for an interview." Guess what? Your resume now means nothing. You already qualify for the job, or else they wouldn't have called you.
Right.
Now, what is going to separate you from the pack, from the pool of candidates, to make them say, "I want to hire you"? One, when you're done with that interview, write a thank you note.
Yep.
And guess what? Pre-write it. "Dear Art, thank you for the privilege of meeting with you today and discussing the opportunity at your organization.
So that way you're good to go.
I look forward to joining the team and becoming part of the whatever.
Yeah.
Sincerely."
Yeah.
Lick it, stamp it, seal it. Interview, walk out, find the nearest mailbox, drop it in. You're mailing it close to the proximity of the person.
So
They'll
it's
get there
quick.
within 24 hours.
Quick, yeah.
Number 2, dress the part.
Yes.
Shine your shoes.
Yes.
People don't do that anymore. Put a tie on it
Yeah.
if it's required.
Yeah.
Do this. Dress the
Pop your collar.
Yeah, dress the part.
So-
Okay? People, I can't tell you how many people of my age, your age, or even younger, God invented the little hole in your suit coat for a lapel pin.
Yeah.
They put it here. They put it here.
That to me too. I'm like,
They
I don't
put it here.
understand.
Okay, don't be pin guy. You ever
I
go
don't
to a play? You ever go to a conference?
yeah.
And there's pin guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be pin guy.
With all his flair.
Yeah.
So
There's a pin here.
yeah.
No. How many people in old school means they're called soft skills?
Yeah.
Take a term from academia. Soft skills.
Yeah.
How many people know what to do with a napkin when they're at a formal event to indicate that they're going to come back when they excuse themselves from the table? Poll 10 people, maybe one knows. Maybe 2. How many know what to do when, like from a man's perspective, a woman walks into a room and sits at your table when you're at a banquet or a formal function, or even just good manners?
Mm-hmm.
You stand up. How many people know how to do that? How many people stand up and give away their bus seat?
Yeah.
Or their subway seat? And the funny part of it is when you do those old school things, opportunities open. I have literally sat at my desk and said, this person's qualified for this job, this person's qualified for this job. I don't know what to do. Last year during the election cycle, I had the privilege of bringing on a few interns, had multiple people, hired 3. They were fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely fantastic. And I said, good student, good this would be a good intern. Good student, good this would be a good intern. He sent me a thank you note. He didn't.
He gets the job.
Jonathan, Alex, and Anna were my rock stars.
Yep.
I would not have made it through that crazy election cycle without them. But they did it.
If you can be thoughtful when you don't have the job, I know damn sure that you are going to be thoughtful when you do have the job.
Here's a funny story. Happened yesterday. Went to a conference a couple weeks ago of people who do what I do at Notre Dame from across the country. Made contacts, we talked about in the other episodes. So all the various career service directors that I encountered that week, I exchanged business cards with them. Got a stack about that.
Yep.
I literally sat at my kitchen table, took my fountain pen, because I'm just
Old
weird.
school, baby.
Old school.
Do you have a feather pen?
I did, but the dog got it. So this is more of a just the old school fountain
right.
pen.
Well, dude, you just tape a feather to
Well,
the...
then you can get one outside.
We'll get you an IBB feather pen. That's
IBB
what we'll do.
feather.
All right, cool. IBB feathers. All right.
And I bet you it took me 3 hours. And I wrote a thank you note to each and every one of those individuals that I met.
And you're the only one they'll remember.
Here's the funny part. Girl from the University of South Carolina. We use her as the example. Her name was Alicia. Dear Alicia, it was nice meeting you at the NACE conference. Thanks for talking with us. All these people have more knowledge. They've forgotten more than I know at this point, as far as academia is concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm relying on their expertise. Always learn, episode 2. Send her a little note. Boom. What am I doing that for? 1, genuine sincerity. 2, I'm building my network. So then when I see them at next year's conference, it's reuniting, per se. Get together, break bread, share thoughts. I get an email yesterday. I'm sitting at my desk, get an email. Pops up from her. Hey, George, just wanted to reach out to you. I got your note today. Thank you. That was very thoughtful. Hope I run into you at another conference. In the meantime, if you ever need anything, advice, or bounce an idea off of me, here's my contact info.
Yep. Opportunity.
Game over. Drop the mic.
From way downtown.
But guess what?
Right, boom.
I can pick up the phone now. Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5, call this girl up and say, hey, I'm working on a project here at Notre Dame. I've never done this before. You have. If I send it to you, would you shoot holes in it or tell me if it's good, tell me if it's bad? You know what her answer will be? Sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. I'll help you out. Sure, no problem. Old school. That gets you, that separates you from the pack.
Everything. Yeah.
You know, people have, I've seen, and don't get offended or mad when you send a thank you note to somebody and they don't respond. Because you don't want to get into the thank you circle. Thank you, no thank you, but thank you. Oh no, I want to thank you. And then you start getting the chachi, point, and it's bad. Okay? But I've seen people 5-6 months down the road.
Yeah.
Hey George, I got your note. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And two, like there's one of the investment companies we use 2 weeks in a row had just a very, very good week for me, and both weeks he sent me a handwritten thank you card. But I had for like 2 months. It's like sitting on my desk. Like I gotta, and all I gotta do is just send him an email or call. Saying like, but like, because even those people that don't respond right away, they mean to and they meant to, but it's still, even if you don't hear back, you still impact it.
They know.
Like then that's the point.
They know.
You don't send a thank you card so you
hey, thank you. No, thank
you know what I'm saying?
you.
Like you don't send a thank you card so you can get one back.
No.
You do it because you know what I'm saying? Like
you do it. It's the right thing to do. Now, in technology age, am I going to send out a tweet in about 20 minutes after we take our picture? Hey, thanks to IBB Gary and IBB Jane. Of course.
You still leverage technology, but
I guarantee you within the next 3 to 5 days you'll get mail.
All right.
And you can hang it up, or whatever. Yeah. But that's what separates people. Yeah. That's how business people take it to a different level.
I love it.
That's how people stand out from the crowd. I want to do business. I can get financial advice anywhere. But you know what? You were a potential person that I interviewed to take over my family's finances, and you sent me a thank you note. At the end of the day, I'll probably go with you because, where people challenge it is, well, I'll send an email. Okay, that's cute. Everybody can send an email. You can do, not to be bad, you can do an email on the toilet. And you've done them. And so have I. But, here's the deal. When you're writing a thank you note, for that 2, 3, 4 minutes in time, you were focused on that person.
Yep.
Not typing an email and watching TV and doing something else at the same time, or putting it, oh crap, send, whatever. For that 3 or 4 minutes that took to get the note out, to write it, to seal it, to stamp it, return address, whatever. You were focused on
James Schleicher. It interrupts the pattern.
Yeah.
And it
and people who get it understand that. That for that moment in time.
And the people that don't appreciate it, you don't want to hear back.
Who cares?
If they're not a good person, you don't.
Who cares?
Good. You didn't hear back from them, and that saved you a lot of
And here's the funny part.
time and trouble.
Guys like you and I that keep those things, and those people that sent those to us, how do you know that and this is what people, when you write them, think this way. How do I know 4 years from now, my company grows bigger, and I need to hire another person? Or I decide to pull the trigger and run for office again, and I need to start building that team. You know, one of the first places I'm going to look? A little thank you note box.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute, there's that Josh. I remember him. He was an intern for Congressman Joyce during the 16 cycle. Look at that note. He was good. He's good stock.
Yeah, because and two, it's like we're human. We forget.
And I'm going to call
but
him up.
Like it reminds you who. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, you may not remember me. This is George Phillips. We worked together during the 16 election cycle. He'll act like he remembers me if he doesn't. Hey, listen, man. I'm thinking about running for the House of Representatives again, or the Senate, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm building my team. And I remember how valuable you were and what a well-rounded individual you were at such a young age. I'd like to at least have a cup of coffee with you to potentially extend you an offer to join my team.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And how did I remember Josh? Because Josh sent me a thank you note. Because I dealt with 500 other people who I don't remember.
Yeah, and two, one of the things I got to credit you with when you brought us in to speak to one of your class at Notre Dame, I can't remember the gentleman, I think he was a rugby player, football player, but, sharp guy. Obviously, he's obviously talented if he's on scholarship, and he's obviously, he's moving up. He didn't go to school, and then he's been good enough to get to that level. And he's like, my dad's friend owns a company, and that's where I would like to go. That's where I would like to end up.
Sat in the front row.
Yep. And
I remember him.
And I said, well, have you talked to him? Have you sent a card? We talked about, did you send a thank you? It was nice meeting you card or anything. So, well, I'm waiting to get my resume together. So I'm gonna pause. If you're waiting to get your resume together, I'm gonna smack you. I'm not a violent man, but like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop waiting. So it was probably one of my favorite moments of speaking anywhere. And I was like, okay, and I can't remember, so Steve, we'll call him Steve. Steve, this is your resume. It's ready. Is it more powerful than you? Is it, and that's the thing, is everybody's trained, everybody's brainwashed that piece of paper is the most important thing. That piece of paper that makes you like everybody else is the most important thing. And my favorite moment was just going, now who's more powerful?
Right.
And just that whole, thank you for sharing this, because stop dwelling on what you haven't done to be like everybody else, and start looking for opportunities to be
And resumes
different.
are important, but they're not the central defining factor.
They're
You got to have
it
all the
doesn't
other
matter.
tools.
It doesn't matter.
Because you can write a good
Just say
resume.
it doesn't matter. Like I learned that. I love Notre Dame College. I would not be here, and I would not have the connections and the knowledge I have. I had double major, double minor, graduate with honors, present student government. Like, I was editor on the newspaper, captain on the cross country team. Like I built the resume. Pretty much any award I was capable of, I got.
And when you graduated, that guy was standing there with a paycheck, right?
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, I was like, "Where's this job?" But because I thought my piece of paper would be better than me, the person, which
Piece of
never
paper gets you in the door. We have a couple people in
and
our
even now
department.
it's hard to.
Yeah, they're fantastic
hard
resume tweakers. And I tell all my students, make sure you go see them. Make sure you get the resume professionally done. And you need that. You have to have that. But at the end of the day, I'm hiring you,
not the paper,
the person. Not the piece of paper.
Human being.
I need the paper to learn about you a little bit.
Yeah.
I need the paper to see if I want to give you a phone call. But once I do, I need you. I need to sell you. And when you send me that thank you note, or you do this, or you do that for me, or Congressman Latourette, God rest his soul. when I decided to run for the House, I called his daughter, Representative Sarah Latourette, who's making just huge strides. The woman's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And she was able to get me a meeting with her dad.
That's cool.
And I was nervous wreck. And oh my God,
Sweating.
Congressman Latourette, who am
He's a
I?
legend, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I called her up and says, all right, what do I got? She goes, bring him Diet Coke and chocolate.
All right.
She's like, then
That's
you're
it.
golden.
Golden.
You're
Yeah.
in. Diet Coke and chocolate. And the advice that I got from him, and this and that, and you know the
Was
fact
worth
that you took
a million
the time.
times the price of the Diet Coke and the chocolate and the gas to go get it and all
Exactly.
that stuff. Yeah.
And the flight to Washington.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, but it was worth it. But I was investing in myself.
Awesome.
You know, people can burn through $100
There's all kinds of stupid stuff.
Fiona's Coffee Bar and Bakery,
Which is always a good investment.
but yet they're skimpy to do something for themselves.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself. Old school tricks, old school tactics, blended with new technology.
Yes. Leverage technology, but never lose sight of what is unique and what is you.
You know, Twitter and iPhones and stuff. Yeah, this is the wave of the future. But how did we get along as a society? How did Rockefeller and Carnegie and Vanderbilt? They didn't have Twitter. They didn't have the internet. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. So learn those lessons. How did they do what they did from a what they call a soft skills perspective, and then leverage it with this. And you're gold. And then when this becomes obsolete, because guess what? You know when JJ's older?
Dude, I don't know.
You're going to take him to the Smithsonian one day.
Think about it, yeah.
Right? Because you're that dad. You'll take him to D.C. God willing, I may be there and take you on a tour.
Be cool.
And you're going to walk in, you're going to go, oh my God, there's an iPhone in there. Dad, what's that? Oh, that weird square?
That weird square? Oh my gosh. I don't want to think about it.
I walked in there last year. There's a Commodore 64 in there.
Yeah.
That's the best Pong game created by man.
Ever, yeah.
You know, but
Sega Genesis, man.
Times change.
NES, yeah.
But go with, and it's funny though, if you think that way, look around in society right now. Isn't it funny how even as advanced as we are, people are reverting back to stuff? Mm-hmm. You can buy a preloaded old Nintendo game now. You can buy a preloaded Atari 2600.
I went to Walgreens to get toilet paper a few years ago, and I came home with the Sega Genesis with like every game Sega
it's awesome.
in it.
Madden 95 and
only the
Bill
essentials.
Walsh college football.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny how we as a society are technologically advanced, but yet in the same respect we're reverting back to the foundations.
Because I mean, never lose sight. Boring and basic wins, and it always does.
And sometimes that mountain, don't take shortcuts. You know, I would rather climb the mountain and it takes me 10 years to get to the top versus taking shortcuts and getting there in 5, because the guy that gets there in 5 is going to get knocked off. When I get there in 10, I plant my flag. I'm not going anywhere.
That's right.
Bye-bye. Get off my mountain.
Bye-bye.
Go find your own.
Get off from... All right. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for part 3 of the trilogy. Get off my mountain, stay old school, and until next time,
stay burn proof.